Hey, Will. Yeah. The judge moments ago sentencing Sean Diddy Combs to 4 years behind bars, telling the court he took into consideration that Diddy was self-made, someone who lifted up others, supported his family. He noted that Diddy did a lot of this while even battling addiction. But he said he had to consider all of the rapper's history. And he said that specifically, he said, quote, "A history of good works can't wash away the record. I can care less about his sadness. I can care less about him being in pain. I can care less about what he has to be faced with in court or in jail now. I don't have no remorseful feelings for him. Bro, it is really a sad day for everybody. I don't feel that way. We are planning to appeal. We think we have strong bases to appeal. All right, y'all. It finally happened. Diddy has been sentenced to just 4 years in prison. After months of rumors, court hearings, leaked footage, and wild allegations, the judge made it official. And baby, the celebrity reactions have been loud, shady, and revealing. Some celebs are keeping quiet, trying to protect their brands, and others are posting cryptic messages, unfollowing or flat out celebrating like they've been waiting for this day. But those people who used to be all up in Diddy circle, most of them are suddenly acting like they don't even know him. And then you've got a few brave ones speaking up and saying Diddy deserved a way longer sentence. So let's break down who said what. Who's staying silent? Ever notice how some people make money online effortlessly while others keep planning forever? Well, the world doesn't reward ideas. It rewards execution. It rewards people who take action, build products, and sell while others scroll. If you don't build your digital leverage now, someone else will, and they'll be the one making money while you're still figuring it out. This ebook will train you to build digital products that print income on autopilot, even if you've never sold anything before. So, instead of wasting money on another weekend binge or a Netflix subscription, invest in this guide and start building the system that buys your freedom. Press on the link on the description or click on the I button on the top right to download this ebook that will help you achieve financial freedom. And what this really means for the industry. So, Diddy has officially been sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in federal prison after being found guilty on charges related to transporting women across state lines. Now remember back in July, a New York jury actually acquitted Diddy on the big RICO charges. Those were the charges that could have put him away for life. But they did find him guilty of transporting women victims across state lines involving his exes Cassie Ventura and another woman, identified only as Jane. Fast forward to October 3rd, and Judge Aaron Subramanian wasn't playing around. He told Diddy straight up that his treatment of those women was inexcusable and deserved federal punishment. The judge handed down 50 months behind bars and a $500,000 fine. He pointed out, too, that 2 of Diddy's accusers and former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and a woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane. He talked about their testimony. Specifically, the judge pointing out that after Diddy publicly apologized for the leaked video of him assaulting Cassie, that Diddy assaulted his current girlfriend, Jane. Now, here's the math. Diddy's already spent 13 months locked up at the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center since his arrest last September. That time counts towards his sentence. So he's got a little over 3 years left to serve. And it doesn't end there. When he gets out, he's got 5 years of supervised release, which means Diddy's freedom is going to be on a short leash for a long time. And while everyone who followed this case from the beginning is saying Diddy should have gotten way more time in prison, Diddy and his lawyers are claiming this is an injustice and they're already preparing an appeal. And by the way, Diddy tried every trick in the book to try and convince the judge to let him walk. And his team even played this video in court ahead of sentencing, showing Diddy as a family man who's done a lot for his community. Diddy's team dropped an 11-minute video this morning ahead of his sentencing where he presented himself as a dog to appeal to the judge. It's no better way than taking it to the streets. It's a beautiful city running all around. The city's going to be painful. It's going to be rough, but if we get through it, then it'll show kids and everybody else that, finish what you start and you can do anything you put your mind to. It's filled with archival footage of him playing with his young children, meeting fans, running the New York City Marathon, and donating to schools. Much of it comes off like a documentary highlighting his good deeds. But will it be enough to convince the judge to set him free today? Make sure to listen to the Trial of Diddy podcast after sentencing for all the details. And y'all, Diddy was so convinced that he would walk free that he had actually booked speaking engagements in Miami for next week. This was revealed by prosecutor Mark Slavich, who told the court that Diddy booking these engagements before sentencing is the height of hubris, and it showed he was assuming the court is going to ignore the law and let him be in Miami on Monday. According to the Daily Mail, Diddy booked a teaching position in Miami to advise prisoners about entrepreneurship. He was supposed to deliver his first class to 75 to 100 prisoners to teach business, life skills, and mentorship. But that's not happening now. But you know who might step in to teach the class instead of Diddy? None other than 50 Cent. 50 wasted no time responding to Diddy's prison sentence, and he hopped on social media to mock Diddy for booking those speaking engagements before his sentencing. 50 wrote, "Hey, to whoever was booking Diddy for those speaking engagements, I heard he won't be able to make it. I'm available. Shady." By the way, 50 already started trolling Diddy before the verdict was read. And he addressed Judge Aaron Subramanian directly in a hilarious IG post, writing, "Dear Judge Subramanian, I have had an ongoing dispute with PV for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments despite his trying to teach a class in there. As you are already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army, in 2 locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who's dealing with his own rape allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male ex-workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon. Now, speaking of ex-workers, one of Diddy's former FO workers, who goes by the nickname The Punisher, defended Diddy and told TMZ that he believes Diddy is truly remorseful for what he's done. But another worker who chose to stay anonymous told TMZ he believed Diddy got off easy and should have gotten at least 10 years behind bars. The same worker also revealed that Diddy's legal team reached out asking him to write a letter to help during sentencing, basically to vouch for Diddy's character. But the worker's lawyer told him absolutely not to do it, because it could have incriminated him in the mess. Meanwhile, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, also reacted to the sentence. And he said that he feels no sympathy for Diddy or what happens to him in prison. Ted, the artist, got him dropping to his knees at the time of the verdict, crying on the chair. My heart goes out and it says, "Fuck him and feed him beans. I can care less about beans. I can care less about his sadness. I can care less about him being in pain. I can care less about what he has to be faced with in court or in jail. Now, I don't have no remorseful feelings for him, bro. You understand? This is somebody that at one time I would have given my own life for. And to know this or pie was trying to get people to take my life because I was trying to teach him to be right by people and tell them to be right by people. I have no remorse for this dude, bro. To see him like that. I know there is a God, and you can feel all the way you want to feel about me. You can say whatever you want to say about me, but karma is a mother. See him on his knees begging like that. I would say something, but the LGBT community will be after me, so you'll never hear me say it, so I don't want to get in trouble with it. But bro, I'm happier than the in the barrel of to see him like that." Gene went on to say that this is simply karma doing what it's supposed to do, because Diddy showed no sympathy for all those people he did wrong and their families. I don't have no sympathy at all, because I know he could play all the games he want to play. Did he have sympathy when he said, "I don't give a if Pop got to die. I don't give a if Big got to die. Suge Knight can go to jail"? Did he have any sympathy when he said to Wolf, "I don't need you no more"? Meat said, "I don't need you no more." Set him off. Do you have sympathy when he told Deferred, "Nah, I can't do that"? Nah, I don't with you. Nah, I can't do that like that. Did he have sympathy when he said to Wolf Mama, "Your son has delusions of grandeur. All he want to do is smoke weed and get high"? Do you have sympathy for the notorious Big Mama? Talking about "I didn't go to the funeral." He ain't go to the funeral. Did he have sympathy for Craig Mack? Did he have sympathy for Black Rob to make sure he did the right thing by them? And he sure didn't have no damn sympathy for me when he told dudes to come at me. So looking at those pictures, bro, I could tell you just like this with no ifs and buts about it. I'm happier than a barrel of dick. And judging by the comments on social media, most fans feel the same way as Jane. In fact, they're calling the verdict disgraceful and pointing out that black men without Diddy's level of money and influence get way longer sentences for lesser crimes. One user on X said, "You know the system is broke when ex-trakers with mountains of evidence against them like Diddy get a slap on the wrist because they're rich. Yet normal folks spend over a decade behind bars for possession of weed from 15 years ago." Someone else wrote, "You mean Diddy only got 4 years? A 21-year-old in my town got 5 for possession of marijuana." And another person added, "Diddy just got off the hook. He's only serving 50 months in jail. Now he's only going to serve 36 months for time served. Remember, this is America. It's not about black or white. It's really about having money. If you're wealthy, you can get away with anything. Money talks. And then there are also a lot of people who are saying Diddy deserves at least 20 years for that Cassie hotel video alone. Now, keep in mind that Diddy wasn't on trial for DV, so that hotel footage wasn't part of the evidence. However, it's still good that the video was leaked because unfortunately many people didn't believe Cassie before they saw with their own eyes what Diddy was capable of. As for Cassie's reaction to the sentence, her lawyer, Douglas Wigdor, released a statement saying, "While nothing can undo the trauma caused by Combs, the sentence imposed today recognizes the impact of the serious offenses he committed. We are confident that with the support of her family and friends, Miss Ventura will continue healing, knowing that her bravery and fortitude have been an inspiration to so many." Meanwhile, Eric Fadali, the attorney who represented Diddy's other victim, said he was pleased to see that the judge didn't fall for Diddy's emotional manipulation. Fadali told News Nation, "I was particularly encouraged by the judge's censoring of his sentencing and the focus of his decision on the victims." The defense put up a very robust presentation, which included 5 different attorneys, a PR video with musical backing, and Mr. Combs' own statement. I thought it was appropriate for the prosecution to point out that despite the length of time the defense spent on their presentation, that they barely mentioned the victims. This is not about Mr. Combs. This is about the victims, both his victims and victims of abuse and violence everywhere. On behalf of my clients, we are encouraged that Mr. Combs has been sentenced to additional prison time and look forward to litigating our civil suits against him. All right, y'all. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on the verdict. Do you think the 4-year sentence is appropriate, or did he get off easy? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in this next video.